I know, I know. All right. Just preparing for yoga at 4. Okay, hi everybody. If you're tuning in, we're gonna go live in about, well, we are live, but we're gonna actually start doing yoga live in about 3 minutes. So get a mat, get some water, towel, blocks if you need them, and join us. And by us, I mean me and my partner, James. So you're gonna be back here. This is the front. That's the back. Okay. You're gonna get blocks? You do that. Blocks are wonderful. I love you. Hello, hello. If you are watching, just getting ready. We're gonna be starting in about 2 minutes with some power flow. We're not gonna be on the floor much. All right. So counting down about 1 minute and we're gonna get started. If you want to start to warm up, you might do a little easy twist, standing up. You might sit on the floor, do some stretching, whatever you do to get ready. Okay, so it's almost time. We're gonna start seated today. So whenever you're ready, have a seat on your and I am putting on the finishing touches and making sure we're in the whole shot. There we go. Yep. There you go. We're gonna start seated. Is it time? I think it's time. Let's go. So everybody, if you're watching, welcome. If you're not watching, hey, welcome anyway. We're gonna start seated today. My name is Tanya Hardison, and this is a half hour of power yoga flow for the JCC of Dallas. I miss seeing your faces. I hope to see you soon. This is, like I said, I'm Tanya, and this is my partner James. He's gonna be demonstrating some of the poses with me. When I have to get up and walk away, I'm gonna let him go ahead and demo for me. That makes it a little bit easier so that I can actually talk to you and connect about what you're doing. So, like I said, let's start seated today. I'm gonna sit facing the front of my mat in a cross-legged pose, easy pose or Sukhasana. And once you have a seat, just really ground down through the sit bones and start to feel your connection with the ground beneath you. Roll your shoulders a few times. We're gonna start by not only connecting with the ground beneath us so that we have better balance, hint, hint, but we're going to also connect with our breath. So soften your face, let your chin tuck slightly, but have a long spine. Soften the shoulders down your back and start to connect in with your breath. So breathing in nice and slow and long through the nose. And when you exhale, make a little straw hole with your mouth and just blow it out, all the air coming out. And bring in the inhale nice and slow and deep. Fill the belly, let it expand. And when you exhale, let everything go nice and slow, even the last little bit. Do that one more time. Inhale, nice and slow. Think about elongating the spine as that breath comes in. And when you exhale, let everything go as slowly as possible. And continue that for a few more rounds of breath on your own. Just allowing the rest of the world to drip away. Anything that you came from, anything you're doing after, bless you. Anything that's happening, just start to let go and just focus in on you, your body, this space and time. Beautiful job. Roll the shoulders, flicker open the eyes, and bring your feet in front of you. So your feet are going to be about hips width apart, your knees are hips width apart, and we're going to lean back into a boat pose. So if you need a little extra support, we're going to grab behind the thighs. If you want to go a little further, lift your feet off the ground or even extend the legs all the way up, straightening them out. It's up to you. I'm going to go middle of the road, but what I want you to do is lean back, but think about keeping a nice long back. The chest is lifted. Now take a deep breath like this. Fill the lungs. When you exhale, go back down to a canoe, a low boat. Good. Inhale, come up all the way, squeeze it in, and exhale, lower it down. Do two more. Inhale, we lift. Keep the chest lifted. Exhale, lower. One more. Inhale, lift. And when you exhale, lower and hold. Stay right here. Don't hold your breath. Keep feeling those abdominal muscles and the hip flexors start to activate and warm up. This is just our warm up, you guys. You got this. Take another breath. And then roll the shoulder blades down. Squeeze the knees into the chest. Rock side to side. Now take your right knee. Squeeze your right knee into your chest. Let your left heel extend forward all the way and down. So I want you to feel not only the squeezing into the right knee, but an extension through your left leg. Really pressing through the left heel forward and then rock side to side. Rock side to side. Good. And now switch it out. You're taking that right heel all the way down and forward. All the way down and forward. Left knee is coming into the chest. Feel the difference. You're compressing the left hip flexor and extending the right one. Rock side to side. Breathe deep. Breathe deep. Good. Now bring both knees into the chest. Cross the ankles and start to rock and roll back and forth. You can get as much or as little momentum as you like here. We're going to end up in a plank pose. So you're going to bring your feet down, your hands down, and you can shoot your feet back or step back with me into that strong upper push-up position. Now think about pushing everything you've got away from the head, but keep the crown of your head reaching forward and the shoulders pulled back away from the ears. Beautiful. Feet are hips width apart. You're nice and stable. Take a deep breath. When you exhale, just lift your tailbone straight up. Go to downward dog. Gonna do that again. Inhale, drop the hips down, shoulder height. Plank pose. Exhaling, downward dog. Good. One more time. Inhale to plank. Shoulders away from ears, strong body. Exhale, downward dog. Good. Hang out in your downward dog for a second. You can adjust your feet if you need to. Press one heel then the other, but push the mat away from you. The front of the mat needs to be as far away as it can be. Let your head roll around, let your shoulders roll around. Start to connect with that body even more here. Good, now on your inhale, we're gonna come up to the tiptoes, and as you exhale, walk yourself or hop or float to the front. Feet or hips width apart, you're in a forward fold. On your inhale, lift up halfway. When you exhale, fold. Bend your knees, roll yourself up for this first one. Take the whole inhale to get there. As you exhale, roll the shoulders back and down, lift the heart. On your inhale, reach the arms out and up. Long arms, long body. Exhale, swan dive into a pool of yoga. Good. On your inhale, lift up halfway. When you exhale, plant the hands, go back to your plank pose. Beautiful. We've been here before. Let's do it again. On your inhale, get really long. As you exhale, lift the tailbone, downward facing dog. Good. Come up to your tiptoes, big breath. Exhale, walk, hop, or float to the front. This time, big toes touch. On the inhale, lengthen the spine halfway up. Exhale, fold. Sweep the arms out and up. Rise like a phoenix. Big inhale. When you exhale, find your chair pose. Bending at the knees, dropping the hips straight down. Pull the shoulders down the spine as you lift your chest. Keep breathing. Tuck the tailbone a micro inch, just a micro inch, so you feel the big muscles engage. Big breath, lift the heart an inch higher. Exhale, fold the spine, halfway lift. Plant your hands, plank pose. We're gonna move into our chaturanga now. So when you find your plank, feet are hips width apart, shoulders are back away from the ears. You have the option to drop the knees or take a deep breath and roll forward. On your inhale, exhaling, bend the knees, elbows in close to the ribs. When you exhale, now we lift the hip, lift the chest into our up dog or cobra. Take an extra breath here. Pause, pull the shoulders away from the ears. Breathe. One more inhale. Exhaling, lift the hips. Roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Good. Pause for a couple of breaths here. Take your time allowing yourself to roll the shoulders away from the ears. Now on your inhale, come up to your tiptoes. When you exhale, walk, hop, or float to the front. Forward fold, big toes touch. On the inhale, lift up halfway. When you exhale, fold. Sweep, out and up, rise. Now when you exhale, you're gonna bring your hands to the heart center this time. So you're at the heart center. I want you to really feel the grounding through your feet. Roll the shoulders back and down and lift the chest. So we're standing tall in our mountain pose, and we're gonna take one of your feet away. I did hint that there would be balance. So when you're ready, just lift up your left knee. Take the left knee up as high as you can. Squeeze it up to the ceiling, big breath. And when you exhale, we're gonna send the left foot straight to the back of the room into a warrior three. That left heel presses straight back. Now what I want you to do here is really focus on pressing the heel back, keeping the chest lifted a little higher than the thigh, and dropping the left hip down next to the right. Your arms can fly out. Wherever your arms have gone, we're squeezing the shoulder blades down and back. So take another deep breath. Exhaling, set your left toes down behind you, crescent lunge. On the inhale, we'll reach the arms up to the ceiling. And when you exhale, bring your hands to your heart, find a twist to the right. You can sit that left elbow on the right thigh, or maybe you squeeze it outside of the thigh, pressing the hands to heart center. Roll the shoulder up, back, and down. Now if you need less, drop your back knee. If you want a little more, maybe you like this idea of blossoming the arms open. If you're ready for a really good time, there's an arm balance here. You bring the hands down outside the right foot. It's a reverse running man. You can do it. I'll pause here to take 2 more breaths. Every time you inhale, make your spine longer. Every time you exhale, twist a little deeper, dropping the hips. Good. Last inhale here. Big breath. When you exhale, bring your hands to the floor or maybe blocks. You're in a runner's lunge. Slowly pull back through your right hip so you're straightening your right leg. So see what you can do here. Your hands can be on floor, blocks, or maybe even on the shin if you need a little extra lift. But pull back through your right hip. Maybe that left hip even pivots forward. Maybe if you're feeling like you need more still, you pull those right toes towards your nose or walk the hands to the right side of your mat. You got so many options. Fine. Wherever you've gone, come back to your runner's lunge on your exhale. Good, plant your left hand right inside that right foot. On the inhale, the right hand's gonna lift up to the ceiling. And we're finding that low lunge twist, drawing that right shoulder down and back, dropping the hips, and reaching for the ceiling fan. Good, take a deep breath. Turn it into a side plank. You're pivoting on your feet. The right leg goes up and over. Now, if you can modify with me, take that left knee down, but keep pushing away from the mat. Left hand is underneath the left shoulder. If you want to play with it, maybe this right leg lifts or the right hand reaches. Whatever you need to do, take a deep breath. One more inhale, and then exhaling. Find your plank pose, knees up or down. On your inhale, roll forward over the toes or keep the knees down. When you exhale, bend the elbows inward. Good, inhale, lift the heart, upward dog, or maybe cobra, bent elbows. Then exhale to your downward facing dog. Good, take a moment in your downward dog. Explore how your body feels. If your breath has come away from you, get it back, force it back. Your breath is always yours. If you're hanging out in your downward dog, make sure that your tailbone is lifted, your heels are dropping, and maybe even pressing your chest closer to your thighs or knees. Good, head is nice and soft. Roll your head around. My Gumby. Good, take a deep breath, come on, up to your tiptoes. When you exhale, walk, hop, or float to the front, forward fold. On your inhale, lift up halfway, find your space. And fold, release it down. Nice and soft, hands out and up to the ceiling. Exhale, hands to the heart, tapping them at heart center. And once again, resetting with that grounding. You have roots coming in through the floor into your feet. They are anchoring you. Your chest, everything else lifted. Shoulders down, heart high. On your inhale, lift your right knee up to your chest as high as it'll go. Don't think about it. If you think about it, you wobble. Everything's lifting except that left foot. Take a deep breath. When you exhale, that right heel goes straight to the back of the mat. Don't put the foot down yet. We're finding that warrior three. Pressing back through the heel, and then taking that extra brave moment to drop this right hip down next to the left. It feels like you're bumping your left hip out. It's harder. Hands can remain at heart center. They can fly out. Just squeeze the shoulder blades. If you want more, interlace the fingers in front. Finger pistol pointing forward. You are a superhero. Take another deep breath. When you exhale, set your right toes down behind you. Crescent lunge. Inhale, we reach the arms up. And when you exhale, hands float through the heart. Twist left. The right elbow taps or squeezes outside. You can adjust as you need to. But when you do this, think about either dropping the back knee or pressing back through the heel. Dropping the hips down as you roll the left shoulder up, back and down. Long spine. Feel the length in the spine as you feel the twist. You might feel that left hip start to open up. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm gonna get you out of it, James, I promise. You're gonna take one more breath. As you exhale, go ahead and bring your hands to the ground. Or you can take them to blocks or the shin. We're gonna straighten that front leg. Now, if you're real tippy here, make sure that you've got a lot of space widthwise. Like your left foot is on the left side of your mat and the right foot is on the right side of your mat. Because if you're down the center line, you might fall over. It's a fact. No tightrope necessary. Again, same options. Lengthen through your spine. Shift back through the left hip. Pivoting that right hip forward even. Maybe you flex the left toes toward the nose to engage, oh yes, the bottom part of your leg. Or maybe the hands float to the left side of the mat. That really gets into the IT band part. Wherever you've gone, take a deep breath, lengthen through your spine, and we'll rebend that front knee. We're returning to a runner's lunge, dropping through the hips, right hand plants right underneath the right shoulder. On your inhale, lift the left hand up. Find your twist. Now you probably are feeling that hip starting to open up. Drop through the hips, roll roll the left shoulder up, back, and down. Squeeze the shoulder blades together so you're popping your heart up toward the ceiling. Take one more breath before we turn this into a side plank. You're going to pivot on the toes, on the heels, and then find that either that right knee down or up, and the left leg comes up and over. Now, if you've got both legs straight, recognize that you can have your feet stacked or staggered. What do you need for balance? What do you need? Maybe you're feeling really frisky. You want to lift that top leg even if you don't have the bottom knee down. Maybe you want to find a little tree pose or grab toes, who knows. Take one more breath though. When you exhale, come down to your plank pose. Feet are back, knees might be down. On your inhale, roll forward or pull the heart forward. When you exhale, lower halfway, or maybe all the way if you're going into cobra now. Take that cobra, that upward dog on the inhale, pull the heart up, and then exhale. Lift the hips, find your downward facing dog. Dropping through the heels. Breathe, take another moment here to connect. We've done one full sequence. Feel how your body feels in this. Let your head be soft. There's no need for tension in the neck. There's no need for tension in the shoulders. Roll them back away from your ears. See how it feels to let go in this resting pose. But we're going to keep going. So on your inhale, lift up through your right heel. Take your right heel to the ceiling tiles. Go, gummy, go. Lift that right heel up. So it doesn't matter if you want to open this hip up or not. We're just lifting this leg up. And then bend your right knee and fan open that knee up to the ceiling. You can circle it around here, seeing if you can get a little more opening in the hip, the right hip. Maybe you feel a right side body stretch here. Take the knee up to the ceiling tiles. One more big breath. When you exhale, take your knee to your nose. Squeeze it in. On your inhale, knee up high. Exhale, knee to nose. Squeeze it in. Try to touch. Inhale up to the ceiling. And then step forward into your crescent lunge. We're going to rise on up. Big breath in. And when you exhale, take your twist. Hands to the heart. Left elbow, right thigh. Just a moment here. Roll that right shoulder up, back, and down. Drop through the hips. Good. One more breath. Twist a little further as you exhale. Now on the inhale, rise back up to your crescent. Take a deep breath. When you exhale, move to your warrior two. So you're going to flatten that left foot behind you, arms out wide. And then center your body over your hips. Don't lean forward or back. Just pull everything down. And also make sure that this right knee doesn't collapse inward. It's actually pulling outward. Beautiful job. Now reverse your warrior. On your inhale, the right hand's going up high. When you exhale, go all the way to side angle. This right elbow is coming down here. Right elbow is coming down, and that left arm's lifting. Good. Now, if you're feeling spunky, you might take this left arm forward, or it can go straight up. You also have the option of getting even stronger. I'm going to make you do it. Take that right arm forward, too. Yeah. Good. That's this left side body working really hard, and after his long bike ride, this is torture. Take one more deep breath. When you exhale, float back to warrior two. Good. Deep breath. Take both hands up high. Straighten both legs. When you exhale, go to a triangle pose. Bump your hips back. Reach that right arm forward. And right hand down, left hand high. So now we're getting a little more length in that front leg. It's the same as side angle, except for now we have length in every direction. Length through the spine, length through the legs, length through the arms, and length in your breath. See if you can breathe deeper, slower, stronger, beautiful. I'm going to throw you for a loop. On your inhale, you're going to reach long through the arms. When you exhale, you're going to pivot your chest toward the ground. Your arms are out like airplane wings. You're looking at your right big toe. Turn to the ball of your back foot. Bend your front knee. Guess where we're going? We're going back to warrior three. So take your time. Don't bounce up. When you're ready, very slowly lifting that left heel behind you and press. Very slowly. You can do it. I'm going to scoot back just a little bit. Good. Now follow me through this. You can do it. Look at the floor right under your nose. And then slowly start to pivot your torso. Your left hand is coming down to the floor or block right underneath your nose. And this right hand's going high for revolved triangle. Oh yes, it's happening. Good, take another deep breath. As you exhale, bring your hands down. Take your feet forward, forward fold. Wiggle your hips back and forth, especially that right one. It's probably tired. Let's do the other side. On your inhale, lift up halfway. When you exhale, fold. Sweep out and up. Rise like a phoenix. Grab your right wrist at the top, though. Get a nice right side body stretch. Lean left. Good. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, lean right. Grab the left wrist. Nice. Inhale, lift the hands and the heart, not the shoulders. Exhale, swan dive. Let your heart lead. Good. We're doing our chaturanga now. Halfway lift on your inhale. Plant your hands, take your feet back and lower, or you can go straight to downward dog with me. When you're ready, your upward dog or your cobra, and then we'll all meet in our downward facing dog. Let yourself rest. Take a moment, reconnect. When you're ready, we're lifting that left heel high. Drop the right heel as you lift the left heel to the ceiling. You can open the hip if you like, but send that left knee to the ceiling. Bend the left knee. Roll it around a few times like a dog at a fire hydrant. Imagine being a chihuahua. How high can you go? Take another deep breath. Now take your knee to your nose. Squeeze it in. Hip knees going back up. Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Good. One more time. Lift the knee up high. Big breath. Step it through. We're going to crescent. You got this. On your inhale, rise up. Hands through the heart. Twist left. We're not going to hold it for long, but find that twist. Spread your feet a little wider if you need to. Drop through the hips. Roll the left shoulder up, back, and down. Good. One more breath in. Twist further as you exhale. Good. Rise back up to crescent. On your inhale, we come back up. Open it up to warrior two on this side. You're flattening the right foot. Drawing the shoulders down and shooting fire out every finger. Seal down your back foot. Draw the hips down, draw the shoulders down, lift through the heart. There's a tailbone tuck here too. Warrior two, there's so much going on. How hard can you make it? If you can't make it any harder, let me help you. Try to squeeze your feet towards each other without actually moving them. So you're engaging everything in the inner thighs. Good, I knew I'd get you. On your inhale, lift your left hand, reverse that warrior. When you exhale, find your side angle. That left arm is coming down. Elbow to thigh, maybe inside or outside the thigh. Right arm lifts. Find your place in this pose before you move on. Squeeze your shoulder blades together to lift the chest a little higher. Maybe that right arm reaches. Maybe the left arm reaches. Maybe you're hanging out with me. It's okay, I'm gonna make James do the hard stuff today. Take another deep breath. When you exhale, float back to warrior two. Nice and easy, good. Straighten both arms and legs, come up like Star Wars pose on your inhale. When you exhale, bump your hips back, reach forward through the left hand, find your triangle. Triangle can be a resting pose, or you can make it a little bit harder by squeezing the shoulder blades, lengthening through the arms, really finding strength in the length here. Find your calm and your peace in your face, your jaw, your long deep breath. Oh, with that length. Go ahead, take another big breath. Now we're gonna turn toward the floor, the arms out like airplane wings. Pull your left hip back. Pull your left hip back. So you're finding a stretch through the back of your left thigh now. Turn to the ball of your back foot, bending into your front knee. We're ready to launch, but don't launch hard. Launch nice and slow. Take a deep breath, and slowly we lift that right heel. Squeezing all the back muscles, pressing back through the heel. Dropping the right hip down next to the left. I'm going to scoot back just a little bit. Good, now take a deep breath. Look at the floor right beneath your nose. Start to twist your torso so that right hand is coming down to the floor or block. That left hand is coming up. We're turning. Our balance, oh yes. Pressing back through the right heel, squeezing the shoulder blades, breathing deep. Never mind that sweat that's trickling, it's okay, take one more breath. When you exhale, hands down, feet forward, forward fold. Amazing job, halfway lift on your inhale. Exhale, fold low. Sweep the arms out and up, rise like a phoenix. When you exhale this time, take your elbows to your knees, lift your heart higher, back bend. Good, inhale, reach the arms up high. When you exhale, gather the hands at the low back, interlace the fingers. So you're going to pull the knuckles down and lift the heart here. Lifting the heart here, trying to find the collarbones opening, the chest starting to soften. Lift up through your chest on your inhale. When you exhale, forward fold. Now maybe your hands go overhead because you have flexible shoulders like James, or maybe you're like me and they're going to rest on your back, elbows squeezing towards each other. Roll your head around softly. Good. On your inhale, lift up halfway. When you exhale, plant your hands. Go to your plank. Do not chaturanga. Do not pass go. Do not pass go and collect $200 or $1,200. Just find your plank pose. When you're in your plank, I'm going to have you do one more strength pose. I want you to lift your right foot about 4 inches off the ground. Good. You got it. It's just a one-legged plank. I'm going to make it even harder. Take your left hand forward. Reach it forward. Oh, there it is. Wobble if you must. You got it. Bring your hands down. Take your right heel high. One-legged dog. Hips are lifted. Right heel is up. Lengthen. Big breath. Half pigeon pose. You're going to take that right knee to the right elbow and then shimmy that shin across the front of the mat. Aha. That's what the blanket was for. Good. Now when you get to your half pigeon, level off your hips. Lift through your chest. See if you can bring both hips down equally before you fold forward. And when you fold forward, you might not fold a lot. You might come to the elbows and go, that's enough. If you feel any knee pain, you can modify with me. We're going to do it on the back. If you have any knee pain, you're just going to draw that left thigh into your chest. If you're drawing the left thigh into your chest, rock side to side. If you're in your half pigeon with James. Sorry. Just take another moment to take 2 to 3 deep breaths. Whatever you find in the silence is what you need to be finding. It's what was meant to be found. Take one more inhale. Soften what you can. And as you exhale, start to come up. We're going to go right back to our downward facing dog. Only take that right leg and kick it around. Or you can flip your dog if you need to. James, I'm going to have you stay here, kicking out that right leg. I'm going to flip this dog, taking my right foot to the left side of the mat. Lifting through the hips. See how that feels on your left shoulder. If it's not right for the left shoulder, don't do it. We're all going to meet in a regular downward facing dog. All 4 paws on the ground. Wiggle it out. You've got it. Let the head be soft. And then come right back into your plank pose. When you're ready, hands are under the shoulders. Hips are about as high as the shoulders. Hover the left foot this time about 4 inches off the floor. Little core strength. Maybe you stay here. Or maybe that right hand reaches forward. Maybe. Take another breath. Hands down, left heel high. One-legged dog. Drop through the head. Inhaling, we lift the leg. Left knee, left elbow. And then find the half pigeon on this side. James will do the modified version. Want to lay back? No? Okay, I'll do the modified version. You're modifying, you're on your back. Left ankle crossed over right thigh. Otherwise, wiggle back through your right toes if you're in that sleeping swan half pigeon. Lengthen through the spine, breathe deep. Allow yourself to feel whatever comes up without judgment. Soften into it. We'll be here for 3 more breaths. Beautiful job, guys. Take one more inhale. And then however you need to get there, go back into your one-legged dog. So this time that left leg gets to do whatever it needs to do. Maybe you kick it out. I do like to just take it around and kick it out. It needs some circulation after our half pigeon, right? Or maybe you're flipping. It's up to you. When you're done, find your last downward dog. Take a moment in that downward dog. And then crawl your way into a seated pose. Bring yourself down to your mat, lying down. Bringing your shoulder blades onto the mat, squeeze the knees into the chest. And we'll finish with my all-time favorite twist. So you're gonna take your left foot, plant it, the right toes tuck inside the left knee, arms are out wide, and we just roll the hips to the left, leaving that right shoulder down and heavy. Breathing deeply, allowing the spine to untangle itself as it twists. You can look over your right shoulder or just enjoy where you are. We're gonna go right into the other side though. Come on back onto your flat back. Plant your right foot. Tuck your left toes in the crook of your right knee. So your right foot plants, left toes go inside, yep. Arms are out wide, we're just gonna roll those hips over to the right. Perfect, take your time in these twists. Allow them to fully develop with a long, slow breath. Can be hard to do when you're twisted. Good. Uncurl yourself. Squeeze both knees into your chest. Give yourself a good hug. And then come on down into your Shavasana, letting everything rest. Feeling your body for exactly what it is right now. Maybe it's sweaty, maybe it's tired. Explore any emotions that you have. Watch your thoughts as if they were clouds, and maybe you can just let them fly by. Let your breath just come and go easily. Watch the breath come in and out like waves on the shore. And please feel free to stay here as long as you need to. But I am going to come to a seated pose and wish you a very peaceful rest of your Sunday. Namaste from me, Tanya, and from the J. Thank you so much.